When we were still learning, we have to cook like every bowl of noodles like almost every day to try and give my dad to try also.
I think for 1 month straight, we cook every single day.
Yeah.
Are you scared of bak chor?
No, we still eat.
We still eat it.
Yeah.
Normally, I'll be the one that will wake up first. Then I'll prep myself. Then after that, I will head to the kitchen and prepare all my work stuff like the vegetables, also the chili and our food for our lunch. This is prep like yesterday when we are back home. So we'll prep all this for the next day. Then after that, Justin will wake up around like 3:40 and get himself prepared. Normally we'll leave house by 4, sometimes 4:10. Because sometimes he's very lazy, he just want to know a bit more. So he refuses to get up.
Not me. Hi, my name is Justin. I'm 35 this year and I'm the second-gen owner of Seng Bak Chor Mee. Okay, we sell Bak Chor Mee. Actually, we specialize in our fish maw noodles or fish maw soup. So I think that's what we are different as compared to other Bak Chor Mee. We get to our stall at maybe around 4:15. And that's where we start to boil the soup. So the soup is the one that takes the longest time, so that's why we have to come so early. Yeah, so we start boiling the soup at around 4:15, then we do our miscellaneous prep. Usually we're supposed to open at 7:30, but once we are done, normally 7:10, 7:15, we will just open shop. So basically my father-in-law started this Bak Chor Mee thing, I think close to 40 years ago or around there. But when he got famous, that was the time that he was in Block 1A, Eunos coffee shops. He was known as the Cok Cok Mee, and he used to be known as the one flipping the bowls and stuff like that. Eventually he ended up in Serangoon Gardens. Yeah, it was actually on the opposite side. He's been here for about 10 years. That's where we first started learning, and now we finally own the stall. Yeah. So previously I was working in the corporate world, various roles around, I guess, the financial industry. And then eventually, because I always wanted to run my own business, when the opportunity came about, then yeah, I decided to take it up. I always want to step out of the comfort zone to push myself to do something different or something better. It was very comfortable. So 9 to 5, sometimes 2-hour lunch break, 20 days of leave per year. It's very comfortable, but ultimately the issue with the corporate life is the person above you has to pull you up. If they don't value you enough, then you'll be stuck at a lower level for a longer time. Whereas running my own business, the sky is the limit. I can progress as far as I want to. It's just up to me to decide how fast I want to progress. So after I got to know my wife, it was a while later that my in-laws, they kept saying that they're very tired already, they want to retire, saying that they've done this for a long time, they want to find someone to take over. I had a discussion with my wife, or back then girlfriend. We came to the conclusion that it's still a good business after all, why not give it a shot? So that's where we decided to take over and give it a shot.
Hi, I'm Kai Lin. I'm 35 this year, and both of us are the owner of Seng Mushroom Minced Meat Noodle. I was actually a air stewardess, been flying for 8 years. What makes me stop flying is because my parents they are getting old, and so we decided to actually take over my parents' business and to continue from there.
Yeah, then we discussed and said we need to do things in a certain way. Like for example, her dad used to do most of the work. I told her, I can't do that because I'm not like him. I'm not as strong as him. So I told her you need to do a bit more of the workload, especially the prep and stuff like that. So yeah, she agreed to it, and we felt that okay, with that, we can go ahead with this business.
So when I opened this topic to him, he seems quite interested also lah. Happy and touched. It's not an easy job lah. It's actually quite tough.
Rate more dad and nothing for you.
Ha. Sorry, I need to go to my dad. my dad is the legend.
So initially when he handed over the store to us, I think he got bored. So about 2-3 months later, he decided to go and open his own store. And now he's running his store at Ang Mo Kio Industrial Park 2. They're the same name, same brand, selling almost the same thing. So the difference is that he still uses teapot and we stopped using it. The big reason why is because over the years, inflation hit us really bad. The price increased by like over 50%. The supply was so limited that if we also continue to use, right, we'll be fighting for supplies. We decided to let him continue using, we stopped using, and then we try it out with our customer base. Difference is mainly in the soup, where his is more 重口味, whereas ours is a lighter broth, though it's still quite thick because we use the same pork bone, chicken bones and all that. So ours you can taste like more of the sweetness of the broth. It's a lighter flavor, more 清淡. I would say there's no real competition between us. He runs his own, we run our own. Prep is all done separately, our accounts are also run separately. In the initial part, of course, there's a bit of friction when the store was handed over to us because ultimately my father-in-law he has his own way of doing things. And sometimes I feel that, like why not cut short the process by doing certain things differently. Certain things I did it my own way, but then once things smoothen out, then it's all good. Okay, the Cok Cok part, a lot of people ask me why never go and learn that. I said, it's okay. I'm not into that kind of thing. For me, food is the most important. First, I prepare the meat, the liver, the bak chor and the sliced meat. Put some seaweed, and then add the soup in. And meanwhile, I'll cook the noodles while the soup is boiling. So I usually just cook the eggs slightly, so it's like what they call the tan hua, and then add the mushrooms on top, and then top it off with a bit of veggie, and it's done. I would say initially the biggest issue was learning the ropes of the soup was the most difficult one. That one took me about at least a year-ish to master, like to really get it to the right consistency on my own. Yeah, before this I could only cook Maggi mee, and now I can cook bak chor mee.
Definitely not easy. Because when we were still learning, we have to cook like every bowl of noodles like almost every day to try, and give my dad to try also to see whether it's a consistency.
I think for 1 month straight, we cook every single day.
Yeah.
Do you scared of our talk?
No, we still eat.
We still eat it.
Yeah.
Best part of working in the kitchen.
Best part fun. Everything is so hot here.
Best part is working with him mah,
Okay lah. 粿条面汤米加干干的呀。Initially, when we started work together, we had a bit of like arguments. Yeah, because everyone works differently. But we talk about it, have to communicate more. So right now we don't argue or even quarrel during work.
I think we do have friction once in a while, but we've learned to let it go. It's like sometimes work where because it's very fast paced, right? So for example, the tone that I use may not be the best tone. Yeah, it might be quite harsh sometimes, but the thing is we've learned to both understand that this is just work. And then once we move on from there, right, then yeah, it's like nothing happened really. Though.
No hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings. We don't bring it outside of work. I think the biggest difference is the amount of trust you can put into the person working with you. So for example, if the person is your partner, like you fully trust the person. I think in terms of the commitment level is both are 100%, especially when you are partners working together. Of course, we see each other like 24/7, but sometimes on our off days, we do meet our friends separately also, just to like, zone out lah. Do whatever we like to do. I think that's also healthy in a sense. Like we also have our own personal space. We're just happily doing this business together. I think.
Yeah.
We can't be pop.
Yeah.
I think the most rewarding part about this whole business is that it's essentially running our own business. So we don't need to answer to anyone. Of course, we also do get a lot of satisfaction when customers enjoy our food. Negative ones, sure to have every day. So once they see a younger generation cooking, yeah, the initial comments were always like not the same standard draw. Even though everything was exactly the same as what my father-in-law was doing. Even when he tasted, he said, okay, well. So people can think what they want, they can say what they want, but ultimately, as long as we do what is right and we feel the quality that we want to deliver, I think that's fine. Yeah, we control what we can. So we have regulars that were basically following my father-in-law back then, and some of them still follow us till now. We also have our own new set of regulars that come and eat. I think recently we had one memorable one where a customer came to order 3 packets of our bak chor mee. It was a bit quiet that day, so I had a short chat with him. He said, I'm tapaoing to Kuching because my friends in Kuching want to eat. He actually flew our noodles over to Malaysia. So I think that's a very rewarding part when we get to see like them finishing up the whole bowl of noodles, all the soup. Or sometimes they eat already, they also say, I want to tapao some more. That's the job satisfaction that we get from this. Yeah. I would say if you have the interest, go for it. If you don't try, you won't know. I think information these days is so much more accessible as compared to in the past. Not my generation, of course, my father-in-law's generation. There wasn't Google or anything. So I think that if you have the interest for something, just set your mind to it. Make sure you put in the hours, the effort. Yeah, especially if it's a hawker business, there's YouTube to learn recipes, to tweak your recipes. I don't think it's that difficult. And I think anything is achievable. Yeah, as long as you make up your mind that you want to learn something, I think you can learn it.